I eventually got called and I testified. A lot of people testified in that case, a lot of experts and doctors and people that are way smarter than me. And the thing with trials is, once you're done testifying, once you're excused, you can sit through the court case. You can come back day for day, however much you need, want, whatever. You can come back because you're excused. They're not going to have any more questions for you. So there's no chance of contamination of testimonies or anything like that. And out of all of my years, even to now, 17 years into it, even to now, that is the only court case that I went back for. That's the only court case that I stayed for once I was excused. I was invested. I had to know what happened to that baby. And then I had to know what happened to the man that did it. And during that trial, I heard the experts testify. This 8-month-old baby had a skull fracture. 7, 8 months old with a skull fracture. One of the experts that was there expressed that because of how malleable a child that young's skull is, that to cause a fracture like that in that particular portion of that child's skull would be the equivalent of taking a 2-story fall from a balcony and hitting the head. When it was asked of how the child ended up with a skull fracture, it was said that the child was walking and fell and hit the fireplace. That math don't add up to me. They also found bite marks on the child, or a bite mark on the child. And there were reasons why they expressed why the bite mark was likely there. But it was said that, well, that's a child's bite mark. Well, they had expert testimony that there's no way that the only other child in the home caused that bite mark. The bite mark was entirely too large to be a child's bite mark. So they knew that it was an adult, which meant not only did this 8-month-old baby have a fractured skull, but was bitten by this man. So I sat there and I listened through the trial, and I listened to the testimonies of the experts and the testimonies of everybody else that was called in. And then I waited. The jury was given their orders, and they were excused to go to their deliberation room, and I waited with everyone else. Eventually, we got the notice that the jury had reached a decision, and we go back into the courtroom, and I've never been on pins and needles more a day in my life. The reason why is because you never know what's going to happen with a jury trial. Sometimes, no matter how strong your evidence is, no matter how strong your testimony is, it's called a jury of your peers. It means the fate of the case lies in their hands and what they believe occurred based on the facts beyond a reasonable doubt. And sometimes, no matter how hard you try, no matter how much evidence you have, the jury goes the other way. Obviously, you can imagine that I didn't want the jury to go the other way in this one. All of the evidence, all of the facts pointed to this man hurt this child. And I didn't want him to get away with it.